What's up, guys? We are back with our transformed devotional series we're going through. And so the idea that we are pursuing in these video devotionals comes from 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old things have passed away, and behold, new things have come. So what we're doing is we're taking however long this is going to be, and we are looking at different biblical characters whose lives were changed by Jesus, by God, and how they were transformed. Because that's what happens when we encounter God. When we encounter Jesus, our lives are transformed. We are not the same. We are made new. So today, I want you to open up to Mark 5, and I'm not going to read all of them, but read this whole story, verses 1 through 20. Mark 5, 1 through 20. We're going to read parts of it. And this is a story called the demoniac sometimes. And so maybe you're familiar with it. I think we've gone through it before. But we're just going to look at how Jesus literally changed someone's life. So I'm going to pick up just starting in verse 1. It says, "They went across the lake to the region of Gerasenes. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. The man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore. Not even with a chain, for he had often been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and in the hills he would cry out and cut himself with stones." So here's the picture, right? There's this guy who is possessed by an impure spirit, by demons, the demoniac. And he is super strong because he's been empowered by these demons. It's really weird stuff, but he lives out away from everybody else. The demons are attacking God's perfect creation, which is mankind, and Jesus shows up. So now we're going to see what happens. When he saw Jesus, in verse 6, when he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again not to send them out of the area. So what happens? Jesus shows up, and immediately the demons recognize who Jesus is, right? Not even all the people know who Jesus is at this point, right? The demons know that Jesus is the Son of the Most High God, and that he has all authority, all power. If he wanted to, he could torture them. He could send them out anywhere. And they know this. Jesus can overcome anything. And we're going to skip ahead. Basically what happens is Jesus casts out these demons. He puts them into pigs, which are like really impure and unclean animals, who then run down a countryside, and we're assuming it's like 1,000+ pigs, which is wild. Think about that, 1,000+ pigs. And then people are all scared because what just happened? But we're going to pick up in verse 18 when Jesus is leaving after this, right? As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." So the man went away and began to tell in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him. And all the people were amazed. And this is kind of what I wanted to focus in on, right? Jesus had done something amazing. He had transformed someone's life, right? This person was outcast, was possessed, and was not even going to be part of society anymore. They had given up on him and allowed him to go out there and live. And Jesus showed up. And that's how stories always happen. That's how life transformation happens, is when things seem hopeless, when we seem like we're down. I mean, I'm assuming none of us are where this guy was. But we have this life before we meet Jesus. And then we meet just Jesus, and life transforms. So literally for this person. But this is a perfect example of how Jesus comes into our lives and transforms us. It won't look the same as this, obviously, but Jesus will come and change your life. And then what I love about this is how the demoniac, the man who was changed, how he responds. He begs Jesus to go with him. Like, he wants to stay with Jesus so bad. This is the person who just saved him, who transformed his life. But Jesus doesn't let him just go with him. He says, "Go home and tell your own people of what the Lord has done for you, how he has had mercy on you. And I think that's Jesus' command for us today too, right? Yesterday I asked you to kind of think through your story about how maybe you met Jesus or how you're growing in Jesus. And today the challenge is, what do we do with that story? Because the demoniac, yeah, he could have gone along with Jesus and shared a story there, but Jesus sent him home. Jesus sent him to people who knew him before he was transformed. And I think that's Jesus' command for each one of us. Maybe not literally home, but his command is to tell your story, to show other people how you have been changed, to be that example through your life, through words, whatever it takes, to be the example of how Jesus can change you, how Jesus has changed your life, and how Jesus can change the lives of others. Because we see this man, he's going to go back and he's going to go and tell everyone what Jesus has done for him, because he loves Jesus that much, because his life was saved by Jesus. So is that how we live? Do we live as if our life was saved by Jesus? And if so, how are we telling people around us about that? So that's our thought for today. How do we live our lives? Do we live lives saved by Jesus? And then how are we telling people about Jesus?